Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Heather with By Heather Felke Creations. Once again, I am a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm going to be showing you a card that I'm making for one of my former bosses, and it's a masculine card. I'm going to be using the stamp set from Basic Gray. This one is called What a Pair. So here's the stamp set I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using 3 stamps from this stamp set. I'm going to be using these owls from All of Us, and I'm going to be using this Made for You by a little birdie with a speech bubble that says that. Okay, I'm also going to be using from Imaginees to Love and Cherish collection this Snag 'em stamp. It's the little bracket journal box, so that will be used. I'm using 3 papers. Right here are my papers, and these papers are from the Pyrus paper pad by Basic Gray. Actually, those 2 are from that paper pad. And then this last one is from the 6x6 mini deck of Cosmo Cricket. And they just went real well together, so that's why I chose those. I'm also going to be using a couple of pieces from the Basic Gray Pyrus pieces, die cut shapes. So we'll be using some of these pieces. It doesn't look like you can see images on the back, but one of them is this little heart strip here. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to be using some crumb cake cardstock by Basic Gray. By Stampin' Up! And it's cut down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's going to open like this. Okay, so I have that ready to go. I've already pre-cut my strips from the paper pads, and I'm going to be using some mono adhesive here to go ahead and tack these down. See which way I want them. I think I'm going to do them like that. Okay. I'm not going to put it all the way down at the bottom. I'm going to leave a little strip of the crumb cake showing. Okay. It's okay that it overlaps a little bit like that because I'm going to be just cutting off the excess. No big deal. Okay. Get it semi-straight there. You can use my grid here to see how straight each of these are. I can tell that this bottom one is not very straight. Oops. Okay. Take my paper snips and I'm going to snip off the excess. Okay. All right. I have this little piece here that's from that pieces pack that's going to wind up going right there, but I'm not ready to tack it down yet because I want to do some stamping first. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to kind of put little dash lines to tell me where this is going to go. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to take my owls, and I think I want to use Dusty Durango. This is Classic Ink by Stampin' Up! And I'm going to stamp my little owls down. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my little strip And I have this little piece here that I'm going to be using as well, but I want to put some dimensional adhesive on the back, and how I'm going to do that is I have this little excess that's left over from my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to cut a piece to size and just use that so there's no waste. Okay. Go ahead and peel off the backing here. And I could go back and erase those pencil marks, but I'm going to be covering them up so they won't even show. So I'm not going to bother erasing them because you won't be able to see them. But if you watched any of my previous episodes, you'll see that I have an issue getting things straight. I'm not real good at that. But that's okay, because when they're handmade, they don't have to be perfect. Okay. Here's my little circle that's going to go right there. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. And then I'm going to add a Stampin' Dimensional to the top. Just so it's supported. Okay, so there's my card so far. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to work on my little journaling, my sentiment. So I have this piece here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Versamark ink. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to use some, I think I'll use the Marina Mist for this. Stamp it down. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment from All of Us, and I'm going to use the Dusty Durango again. These are both classic stamping pads from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment right in the middle of this box. Okay, now I'm going to cut this out. I love the fact that I can use my dye inks with my acrylic stamps. As long as you have a real good acrylic and good ink, such as Stampin' Up's dye ink, you can do that. Otherwise, if you have an inexpensive stamp, then I would recommend using some craft ink. I just don't use it because it takes a little bit longer to dry. But I have just about every color there is in the craft ink. I'm still working on my classic ink collection, so I don't have as many colors as there are available. So you don't have to go this slow. I'm just kind of want to make sure that I get all the little curves and points and stuff. Some people are better at cutting these out than others, and it's not something I do all the time, so it takes me a little longer. Okay, so I got that cut out. I can put my scraps aside. And this is going to go right in here. Or do I want to pop it up? I think I might pop it up. So I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Okay, so there's my card. Masculine from all of us card that can be given to just about any guy out there. So I hope you like this, and please be sure to check out my website at felkey.stampinup.net. You can also go to my blog at it's by Heather Creations.wordpress.com. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll catch you next time.